Harding Electric, and Gales Gas. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, Nawahi Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. And now, live from the Long Branch in downtown Pierre, it's award-winning KCCR Sports Director, John Winkler.
And we have a great show for you tonight as we welcome you here live at the Long Branch for another edition of Coach's Corner. Coach Steve Steele will join me here in just a little bit. We'll talk about the state championship game coming up on Friday. Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team will join me as they will play in the Sodak 16 tomorrow night against Yankton. We'll have the details on that. You can listen to both games here on KCCR. And we'll talk with Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers as they are getting set for the state championship tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as they will be playing at the Dakota Dome for the 9B state title. We'll talk to all three of those coaches. Yes, the same lineup as last week, but even more excited about this lineup than I was last week as we'll talk with all these coaches getting ready for state tournaments, state championships, the Sodak 16, all of that good fun. We will return here in just a couple minutes and we'll have our conversation with Coach Steve Steele. You're listening to Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dale and DT here for the LB.
You know, Dale, the Long Branch offers variety, live music, and drink specials to help you unwind.
True, but you have got to try one of the most diverse menus available.
Got to get in a shout out for their wings. Some of the best in town. Tuesdays, they have wing specials and a killer selection of flavors.
And now, the LB is home of the KCCR's Coach's Corner. Wednesday nights up on the big stage.
Come for the food, stay for the fun. The LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pierre Street in downtown Pierre.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605-224-7378 and visit GatewayFordToyota.com.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
And we welcome you back here to the Long Branch as we are joined by Coach Steve Steele of the Pierre Governors, who are getting set for the state championship game, which will be coming up on Friday, 7:30 kickoff. We'll start coverage here on KCCR and online at kccrradio.com at 7 o'clock. But, Coach, it's good to talk to you one more time before we'll talk in the pregame interview on Friday. But good to talk to you in Coach's Corner one more time before the state championship. But how's that feeling? How's it feeling at this point of the week, getting ready for that game on Friday? You getting more maybe the nerves, maybe the excitement? What's that feeling for you personally right now?
You know, I think right now at this moment it's kind of peaceful, which is crazy. I said this is the last time I'm going to be able to say that because, you know, I think our prep work's done. You know, our plans are in place. You know, our practices, I mean, tomorrow's really a walkthrough. You know, it's not a padded, you know, really going to be pounding on each other practice. So, you know, most of the prep work and preparing is done. And now it's just time to play football. So it's going to be a long 2 days.
I'm going to ignore everything that you said after you said it's peaceful, meaning that you're comfortable and you're at peace here at Coach's Corner. That's all I'm going to take from that. Is that this is your time of peace right now? That you're feeling peaceful because you're here at Coach's Corner.
I'll let you have peace and
thank you.
And agree with you.
I appreciate that. No, but let's talk about T. They're a team that you have not seen since 2019. You know, you made the joke after the game on Friday that there's like 36 games to break down since the last time you guys played them. Maybe you broke down all 36, but at least you broke down every game of the 2021 season. What have you seen from them? Why they are undefeated going into this game Friday night?
Well, you know, they're a really good football team. They're really fast. I think that's their number one attribute when you watch it. You can't not notice that they're fast. Every position pretty much has got really good speed. There's some really long kids on the team. You know, they got a lot of size and height. You know, not necessarily they've got a couple big boys with the weight, but I mean height-wise, they're a tall team too, which can present some problems. You know, their one receiver is like 6'5". Their quarterback's 6'3". They've got another defensive end that's like 6'5". So, you know, they've just got some length on them that can pose some different challenges as well.
They beat Brookings to begin the season. They beat Yankton last Friday, but in between there, they did not play a team over 500. The closest, I think, was West Central when they were at 500 to finish out the season. This is a team that's 11-0, and you don't want to take anything away from them or take anything for granted, but I think there's some things to pick apart and things to look at when you're looking at them being 11-0 right now.
Yeah, you know, I mean, no matter what anyone says, I mean, it's not easy to go 11-0. You know, I mean, no matter who you play, it's not easy. You know, you still got to do things right all the time. You still got to find ways to push back when you face adversity, because there's no such thing as a season where you don't face adversity. So, you know, you've got to give credit where it's due. I mean, they've done everything that's been asked of them, you know, and it shows through their play. You know, they don't make a ton of mistakes on offense. They don't turn the ball over, and they force a ton of turnovers on defense. And usually that's the case because they're not panicking and they're in the power position. So you've got to give credit to them for being able to do that 11 times.
You mentioned find ways. They found ways, but when you look at film and what Yankton did last Friday, they were able to come back from a 35-7 deficit to make it 35-28, had a chance to tie the game. Maybe some opportunity for you guys to see how to find ways to get through this defense and find ways to stop their offense.
You know, I think the biggest takeaway from that game is no matter what happens at the beginning of the game, it's not over. You know, and I think our guys had a good job, or did a good job in our own game, facing a 2-touchdown deficit and not panicking, not going into desperation mode, and just, you know, kind of putting your head on straight and saying, all right, we're going to do this one thing at a time, and we're going to get our way back. And, you know, honestly, that's what Yankton did. They just kind of dug themselves just a tiny bit too big of a hole. But, you know, it's not done, and, you know, no matter what happens, and, you know, the opposite of that is true as well. You know, like, there's been a lot of games with T this year that they've been tied at halftime, you know, that they've really pulled away at halftime, where I think they were 14-14 with Mitchell at halftime, won by 30 or 28, and same thing with Aberdeen, and same thing with Watertown. You know, I mean, they've been in a lot of close games in the first half, then they go in and make good adjustments and come out in the second half. So, you know, it's a 4-quarter football game for a reason, and, you know, our kids have to embrace that going into the game.
Greg Dean and I like to talk about that how good peer governors are at adjusting at halftime. Whether you're in the lead or behind, you guys adjust really well. So it sounds like T adjusts really well. So when you get, and obviously you're not really thinking about halftime before you get to halftime, but being able, knowing that they can make a lot of good adjustments, what does that tell you as a coach when you get to halftime, whether the score is a lot to a little, it's tied, there's not a whole lot of points scored, what does that tell you about the other side of the ball?
Well, the biggest thing that is that they're going to have something else. Whatever they come out with to start the game is their primary plan, and they've got something else ready to go if you have success against that plan. So, I think this is going to be a game where the second half is going to decide the football game. Really, to be honest, no matter what the score is at halftime, the second half is going to decide the football game. And that's how it should be in a state championship game, and that's what makes things fun. And but it's going to be interesting to see who can come out on top after the second half when both teams go in and really put everything they can out there.
We talked to a lot of the kids last week after their win, after you guys win against Aberdeen Central, and the adjustments that you made at halftime in that game. You were down 21-7, scored right before the end of the half to make it 21-14, but the defense again clamped down. They allowed a touchdown against Watertown the first series on the first play. Didn't allow a touchdown the rest of the game. Allowed the 3 touchdowns in the first half. Did not allow a touchdown in the second half. What has been that biggest adjustment? What has been the best thing about this defense, being able to stop offenses in the second half and really shut them down from the second quarter on?
I think the biggest thing, our defensive staff does a great job. We've got a lot of different things ready to go. And kind of like we were saying with T, where they're going to have their plan right away, and after that, if we're able to have success against that plan, they're going to go to their next plan, and if we have success against that plan, they're going to go to their next plan. And I think our guys do the same thing, and I think that was kind of it. We talked in the Watertown game where we kind of wanted to see if we could just play man-up coverage on number 3, and very quickly found out we should give some help, and then the problem went away. We were able to do what we needed to do, and kind of the same thing. We had a game plan last week to try and stop the run, and it took us a little while to kind of get hammered out on how we needed to maneuver some people around, and then we obviously found that in the second half and got them out of their game plan.
Talking with Coach Steve Steele of the Peer Governors as they take on the T-Area Titans in the 11AA State Championship on Friday. 7:30 kickoff, 7 o'clock coverage. This is a game with 2 defending state champions. It's actually not even the only game where 2 defending state champions. Class 9AA to end the day on Thursday, and Class 11AA on the end of the day on Friday. Those 4 teams all won state championships last year. How much fun is it to knowing that, well, as a fan, it's going to be a lot of fun because someone's going to repeat. Whether it's 5 times or 2 times, someone's going to repeat. But how much fun is it to go against a defending state champion in the state championship while you guys are also defending state champions?
I think we actually talked about this as a team yesterday at the end of practice, just because usually, like last year, we kind of felt like we had an advantage, because we'd been there and we'd won the game. And, Brookings had been there, but they didn't have a chance to get it done. And the year before it was, well, we've done this, and Brookings has never done this. The year before was, okay, we did this last year, and Huron hasn't been here. Well, there is no advantage this year. T was there last year and got it done last year. So, the lights aren't going to shine too bright for either team. There's still a lot of new faces on both teams than the ones that were playing in the Dome last year. But that's what makes this fun, is there's not going to be a big advantage one way or the other in terms of experience playing in the Dome, experience being in the Dome, the stage being big, or any of that stuff. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned football game, and it's going to be hopefully a really, really good game.
And we're all looking forward to it. Again, 7:30 kickoff is going to be 7 o'clock for coverage starting here on KCCR and online at kccrradio.com to stream the radio call as the Governors take on the T-Area Titans. You're looking for 5. The thumb is the only ring, or the only finger right now that doesn't have a ring to it. What would that mean to you personally to be able to get that 5th state championship?
They're collecting dust. They're a cool thing to go look at, but the biggest thing is just to be able to send these kids out the way that they should be sent out, to continue obviously on what we've been building here, and just the traditions that have come along with that. It's been really cool. I don't remember if you'd retweeted it or whatnot on Twitter, asking all of our old alumni to write letters back to this year's team. We post those up in the locker room as soon as we get there, and have the kids just have an opportunity to read from players past, and it's always so much fun to read those as a coach. I mean, there's guys from the 90s. There's guys, I think we have one from the 70s that wrote the team, and maybe even one older than that. I can't remember quite how old it was. But, just to see what it means to all these different former governors, that we are doing this again. And, some of the advice is great. Some of the memories are great that they share. And that's just the coolest part, I think, about this. And, being able to go down there and hopefully get another one would just mean so much to so many people that you don't realize until you really start reading some of these things.
For you also, you got your mom and dad are in town, and we'll be going to the game on Friday, and you have your brother coming into town as well, so the whole family will be able to watch the game at the Dakota Dome and be able to be there, and that's going to be a lot of fun for you, for your kids, for your wife, for your mom and dad, everybody in your entire family.
Yeah, it's always a cool thing. We kind of talked about that last week of, hey, high school sports bringing families together. My parents had the car packed and ready to roll as soon as the clock hit 0 there when that kid was sprinting back trying to get the snap off. I think they immediately went to bed or tried to go to bed so they could get up and start driving out here. And, any excuse is a good excuse to come see the 3 kids.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, talking with Coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors, as kickoff is at 7:30 on Friday. Coverage will start at 7 o'clock here on KCCR. Coach, before I wrap things up here, and it's going to be a lot of fun and another chance to play in that state championship, your favorite memory through the first 4. Obviously this could be a new favorite memory here and coming up with the 5th state championship opportunity, but through your first 4, what's been your one favorite memory out of all 4 of them? Yeah,
that is a very hard and unfair question.
I stumped you. I actually
no, I actually there's one moment that jumps out, and it's not even necessarily the favorite. I'd say the most memorable.
Okay.
Is when we sacked Harrisburg's quarterback in our first one, strip sacked, and the ball had come out, and once we jumped on the ball. And it's not actually the celebration part that stands out the most to me, is it's mayhem and everyone's celebrating, everyone's so excited, and I'm like, there's still a minute left, we have to take knees, and our center had gotten hurt at halftime, so he was out here and he couldn't play the second half. Our backup center was sophomore Gray Zabel, who then had to snap to then senior Peyton Zabel, who then said, I am not going under center on my brother. So we'd never practiced this, obviously, with Gray, because Gray hadn't taken a snap until halftime or the second half of the football game. So even when we got to that point and we knew we should have it, I'm like, okay, so go and take a couple of shotgun snaps. I don't care if it's 9 yards. Catch the snap, kneel down, send Hudson Rohrbach as our running back, send him to the goal line just in case something bad happens. And please, God, just catch the snap and lay down on the ground. And he did twice, and we found a way to get through it. But I'll never, ever forget that moment of everyone being in mayhem and so happy. I'm like, we still got to take 2 snaps without our center, and Peyton says he's not going under on Gray. So it was a crazy moment.
That's a good one. I appreciate hearing that one, because out of all the 5 right now, that was the one I was not able to attend. So being able to hear a fun story from that one, because all 5 leading up to, no matter how it turns out on Friday, it's always fun. And like I said, you probably can't name a favorite because they're always good, but it's good to have that was a great memorable moment for the Pierre Governors in their first of hopefully now 5. But before I do let you go, how does 5 happen? How do you get that 5th state championship on Friday?
I think 5 happens if we can win the turnover battle and score more points. We can still stick with that one that I gave you right after the game. But no, really, winning the turnover battle is going to be huge. And then, like I said, being content with whatever they give us offensively. I think we've shown that we've got the capabilities to run or pass, and we don't need to force the issue to do one or the other. So we've got to be content doing whatever they give us. And defensively, we need to make them be one-dimensional and throw the football.
Coach, I appreciate the time as always. It's always good talking to you. You still got to come back next Wednesday, because no matter what, we're going to talk football and hockey, because the hockey season is just about 2 weeks away from Friday when the first game is going to be. And looking forward to recapping the state championship, looking forward to hockey, but good luck on Friday, and can't wait to talk to you before the kickoff and the pregame show on Friday.
Thanks, John.
Coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governors. We will return and talk with Coach Tiffany Stosher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team as they get set for the Sodak 16. You're listening to Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
DT and Dale here for the Long Branch in downtown Pierre. You know, the LB is a great place to kick back, relax, and unwind.
It has been for years, and it has a fantastic menu for lunch or dinner. Love that variety.
Yeah, good point. But we would be remiss if we didn't tell you about the best wings in town.
Tuesdays at the LB, try the delicious wings. And the more you buy, the more you save. The LB, the Long Branch in downtown Pier. Now the home of KCCR's Coach's Corner, Wednesday evenings.
There wasn't always a windmill in Millbank or a vinegar museum in Roslyn. Someone had to paint the graffiti mural on the Turtle Creek Spillway. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, you couldn't bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
As long as you have a local cooperative, you'll never farm alone. At CHS Midwest Cooperative, our team is your team, ready to help you make the decisions that are vital to your operation. From the seed, plant health, and marketing the grain, to fuel to keep you running, the feed to supplement your herds, and the financing programs to make it all possible. We're here for you. Give CHS Midwest Cooperative a call today and let us show you the value of the co-op. Local, loyal, and trusted for generations.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
When you want the best prices and best selection, go to Wegner Auto in Pierre. The certified sales staff at Wegner Auto will provide you service after the sale and how to get easy financing. Check out their website, WegnerAuto.com, or stop in. They have the best prices and won't be undersold. Wegner Auto has the region's largest selection with over 280 new and quality pre-owned vehicles. GM certified pre-owned vehicles give you peace of mind with their 12-month or 12,000-mile bumper-to-bumper warranty and 5-year or 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Log on to WegnerAuto.com or stop by Wegner Auto in Pierre, South Dakota's oldest auto dealer since 1907.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here live at the Long Branch, as we are joined with Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Pierre Governor volleyball team, as they are set for the Sodak 16 on tomorrow night at 6 o'clock first serve. Not the usual 7 o'clock that we've had over the course of the entire season. 6 o'clock first serve, no JV, no sophomore, no freshman games before. We'll be on the air at 5:40 for coverage, 6 o'clock for that first serve. But, Coach, you had your last practice, so now you're ready for that game tomorrow. How was practice these last 3 days leading up to tomorrow's game?
We had really good practices this week. All the girls are, there's things that they all know, but that we're not necessarily talking about. Certainly we knew today's practice was, if we win the game tomorrow, we get to continue, and if not, then we don't. And nobody said a word about this being the last practice. I think the mentality is that we've got another week to go, and we've prepared all season. We've played hard all season long to get to the state tournament, and there's no doubt in anybody's mind that's the plan.
One of the things I talked to you earlier today, we got the story for tomorrow's game on our website at kccrradio.com. It's on our Facebook page as well. But one of the things as I was getting ready to get the audio clips that we had the interview, I could hear the excitement in your voice. It was a little bit of nerves, but a lot more excitement, which is a lot of fun because it is a nervous feeling. Having an opportunity to go to the state tournament, and you want to get that done. But the excitement of being at home is bringing out the excitement in you and probably the rest of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's we talked about that on Tuesday at practice, actually, is that there's just a little something extra, a little extra feeling that we've all got on Tuesday. You know, Monday we came off a weekend and it was kind of a Monday and still had a good practice, but Tuesday you could just feel just a little bit of butterflies, a little bit of excitement. Maybe there's some nerves there, but the opportunity to play in front of this crowd that's been so supportive and to play for this community and for a great school that's hungry and ready to get to a state tournament is something special, and these girls have worked hard for it all season long.
Yeah, and we had a great crowd last Tuesday, which feels like an eternity ago when the last time you guys played, but had a great crowd for senior night. Can only imagine it's going to be better. It's got to be better tomorrow night than what it was last Tuesday, which is saying a lot in itself. But there's first 100 kids get in for free thanks to a donor, which is huge to even add. You know, not that there's any. You need an extra reason to come to the volleyball match, but there's an extra reason to make sure that you come to the volleyball match tomorrow night.
Sure, yeah, you know, that just to know that you know, you don't have to pay that $5 to get in that you would typically have to pay, and some businesses thought that we were important enough to invest in us and believed in us enough to invest in us and give us a big crowd. And you know, those places that donated to us, that really shows a lot of support. The girls, it's easier for us to believe that we're capable of certain things when the community supports us like they do.
And the Governors are taking on the Yankton Gazelles. Let's talk about this match, because you guys, the last time you went on the road was down to Yankton. 1 in 3 sets, close matches, close games. All 3 of those sets were within 5 points, and including the first one that went to 26-24. But now that you know a little bit more about them and have seen their last couple of matches, what do you know more about this team now?
Well, we know what I didn't know so much what their strengths were. You know, Yankton, you don't hear of the athletes' names as much. They're not, haven't had, much like us, they haven't had this success in years past, and so you don't hear of these big studs all the time. But certainly once we got there, we recognized rather quickly that they have very good outside hitters, and defensively, they just cover every spot on the floor. So we had to really work to put balls away. They don't allow us to tip anything. And when we swing, we've got to swing hard. And so we know that their defense is going to be relentless, and we know they're going to go outside, and they've got powerful hitters that are hard to stop. So we prepared for that this week. And
you mentioned it, too, that you had to work hard to get balls down. So when people look at the scores and saw that it was a sweep for Pierre back in October 15th, I believe it was, or 14th, that it's not exactly the same. It's not just saying, well, we'll easily sweep them again, because that's not going to be the case. Any SODAC 16 game, you can't feel that way, but especially against this Yankton team.
Absolutely. You know, it was a sweep. I remember that we won in 3, and we were glad we did. But at the same time, I remember saying to the other coaches, you know, I don't want to play them again, because I used all my timeouts. We were in panic mode a few times throughout the night, and we found ourselves down in sets and had to fight and claw our way back. They were definitely close, down to the wire type of matches. And so, you know, if there's a team that's more hungry than Pierre, Yankton's right there. They haven't been to a state tournament since 2007. Those good outside hitters that I'm talking about are seniors this year, and they've got plans to continue as well. So they're not going to just show up and roll over for us. They're coming here to play. They want a state tournament appearance just like we do.
Now, on the flip side, too, you still got the sweep, still were able to win in 3 games, which means there's got to be a lot of confidence going in against this team.
Yep, the girls are confident. You know, we didn't feel that we played very well when we were in Yankton. We went down there. It's a long bus ride. I'm glad that they're traveling this way this time. It's a very long bus ride. You get out of school, you get on the bus, you go there. Our younger girls were done with our game early, so we sat around for another 15 minutes before our varsity game. It just seemed like we sat around a lot, and excuses or not, we didn't play well. We didn't like how our defense was. We couldn't execute very well on offense. Somehow we got it done, but we want to go out and play a good game. Keep ourselves in the system, because we definitely weren't when they played against us the first time, and see what we can do when we put things together.
Now, in the last several, I believe they were on a 3-match winning streak to heading into the SODAC 16. Obviously, you guys did fall in your last game against Jefferson, but I think in that loss against Jefferson, a lot of positives can come out of that, because, one, you felt how your regular season ended with the loss, and you know that feeling, and now you get a chance to say we don't want that feeling again to end now the postseason either.
Absolutely. It wasn't a fun win or a fun loss for us, and It was to a very good team. It's not like I thought that we lost to someone that we should have, just absolutely, demolished. But they came to play and they were tough, and we didn't bring everything we had. So that was a good test for us because that's what the rest of the games are going to be like this season. And so it was a good ending for us. We know how we have to play to continue, and there is no more second chances. So. Yeah. We've got to show up tomorrow.
We talked about it last Wednesday that at the time of that loss on Tuesday, 15-5 wasn't acceptable. 16-4 is where you wanted to be. But now, even a week later, we mentioned that 15-5 is still a great mark. And now, a week later, getting ready for the SODAC 16, looking back on after a week after the season's over, what does 15-5 mean to you and to maybe years down the road for this Pierre Governor volleyball program?
Yeah, it's a winning season. I had a parent tell me, I think in the last 33 seasons or something like that, we've only had 4 winning seasons. And so it's not something that we've seen often. When you look at last year's record, I think we were something like 7-13. This is a complete turnaround. It's a change in mentality. It's the younger girls are believing in looking up to our girls and thinking volleyball is exciting. The community thinks volleyball is exciting. People have said they've never been to a volleyball game. All of a sudden, are loving volleyball right now and are excited to come out and support. So I think that the girls have changed. The culture's changing. There's tradition here that they're trying to build. And at the end of the season and years down the road, I think that's what they're going to be remembered for.
You are listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station, as we're talking with Coach Tiffany Stoscher here, live in the Long Branch for Coach's Corner. 6 o'clock first serve tomorrow night. 5:40 we'll start coverage here on KCCR. You can watch it on YouTube at KCCR Sports. And, it's never a bad time to get on a bandwagon. And, a lot of people always say, well, you're just a bandwagon fan. Well, right now is a perfect time to get on the bandwagon and stay on the wagon the rest of the way and for years to come. But a perfect chance to, if you have not been to a game all season for volleyball, no better time than tomorrow night to come watch the Governors play.
Yeah, if you want to be in an exciting atmosphere, tomorrow night's definitely going to be the most exciting game we've had all season. This is what it all comes down to. This is what we've been working towards all season, and so. Girls are excited. Girls are ready to continue and show everybody what we're capable of.
And the fun thing that, because we were able to talk before practice a little bit, so you're blaring music in the gym, making it kind of louder for the girls to talk a little bit louder, because that gym can get pretty noisy. When it's full, it can get really noisy, and the extra people that will be there and the excitement in the gym will make things just a little bit louder throughout the entire night, and being able to kind of pipe in that music to make them concentrate a little bit more and talk a little bit more. I think that might be an underrated thing of how tomorrow night goes.
Yeah, I think so. We needed to try and mimic what it's going to look like or sound like tomorrow. It was so noisy in the last game that we couldn't hear the referee's whistle. And so we had to just watch for hand signals. Sometimes we kept playing and they were trying to stop the game. And so probably even going to be more so. So we did crank the music up. We have to be able to hear our teammates on the court. That's communication is so important when we're relying on each other like we do. So we worked on that this week. We had the music up going, and we've got to be loud. And
like I said, we talked about, some fans have not been able to have not watched volleyball and are now becoming fans of volleyball. That's in any sport, having good communication is a key, but in volleyball it's even bigger because it's easy to run into each other, and it's easy to see when you have miscommunication, when girls run into each other and when the ball drops. It's easy to see, what happened. Well, they weren't talking very well. And when you see a team flawlessly do it all game long, there's a lot of talk going on.
Yeah. Yep. And if they're communicating with each other, the rest of their play just seems to fall into place. And so, when you have to rely on different girls to touch a ball, you can't touch a ball twice in a row to get it over. You can't just control the game on your own. You have to have 2, 3, 4 people all playing simultaneously, all on the same page. And so, communication's key. And when we bring it, we're a lot better team.
Again, the Governors take on the Yankton Gazelles tomorrow night, 6 o'clock for first serve. 5:40 will start coverage here on KCCR and available to watch on YouTube at KCCR Sports. So, Coach, before we wrap things up, and obviously, I hope to be able to talk to you again next week, which means that you won your SODAC 16 matchup tomorrow night and you get a chance to go to the state tournament. But what would it mean to be able to go to the state tournament, to be able to be out in Rapid, and with way things look, if seeds hold up, you guys will have I think we mentioned it last week, you'll have the shortest travel out of all AA teams, which could mean a lot going into, I know that all the teams will be there before Thursday. But being that shortest drive, being able to be in the state tournament next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, what would that mean to you?
This would mean a lot. Our girls, we have great programs in Pierre, and we have programs with traditions, but they tend to be the guys' sports. And so this is something that our girls can be proud of. This is something that gives them some self-worth. We had a good turnout for our grade school camp, our middle school. We have numbers in the middle school. And so this is something that they can look forward to and be proud of and provide some stability and some confidence moving through their grade school, middle school, high school years. I think if you have an outlet, if you have a sport, if you have somewhere to go after school every day and you want to be part of a team, it's a lifelong experience. And so I think something for girls to look up to, something for them to play hard for is important.
A lot of hard work has gone in through this season, and now it all comes down to this one game to be able to guarantee yourself 3 more games. But against the Yankton Gazelles tomorrow night, what's it going to take to knock them off and advance to the state tournament?
I think we're peaking at the right time. We've got a couple girls that maybe weren't in stats every single game that are really playing well. McKenna Schleckaway, Reese Terwilliger, 2 middles are coming out and just hitting the ball extremely hard. And they're running routes, and we're setting them more and more. So I think we have offense in addition to what we've traditionally seen. I think other teams are expecting us to be heavy outside hitters. We've got some other things to surprise them, other things to throw in here. And then our defensive effort, we simplified it and said if we just communicate, the rest of it falls into place. And that's what we focused on this week, trying to keep it simple, make sure you're talking all the time, and it does up our play, and I'm expecting the girls to do that tomorrow.
Coach, it is fun talking to you every single week here, especially in the last couple of weeks, but good luck tomorrow night. We'll talk before the game and the pregame interview, but good luck tomorrow night, and hopefully we'll be talking next week as you guys will be in the state tournament.
Sounds good. The girls wanted me to tell you happy birthday.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Coach Tiffany Stocher of the Pierre Governors. We will return and talk with Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers. You are listening to Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
For an excellent choice to meet, greet, or eat, be sure to head to Downtown Pier and the Long Branch. The Long Branch has plenty of room for the big groups, cozy spots for that intimate setting, and you're going to love the selections and variety on their menu. Plus, their specials are sure to please. There's a fantastic variety of libations available, and it's a great place to unwind. Now, home of KCCR Coach's Corner Wednesday nights, come on down to the LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street, downtown Pier. It takes hard work to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than just sports. It also goes for your financial goals. You work hard for your money. You deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. Your local Edward Jones financial advisor can help. If your investments aren't getting you closer to the win, visit edwardjones.com or stop by your local Pier area Edward Jones office for a financial review. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
At Avera Health Plans, health insurance is more than just coverage. It's about making connections. We connect you with quality health care so you're covered when you need it. To health coaches and nurses who help meet your health goals. And to a quality network of providers, specialists, and 24/7 virtual care. Our focus is on your everyday well-being. Wherever you are, plan with connections. Connect with your agent or visit averahealthplans.com.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in Central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota in Pierre still wants your trade or your spare vehicle, and we're willing to give you top dollar. And we'll throw in an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Sell us your car, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you an additional 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Trade in your vehicle for a new or different one, and Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota will give you 250 Pierre Pride dollars. Gateway Ford Lincoln Toyota at 518 East Sioux Avenue in Pierre. Call 605. Or 7378 and visit gatewayfordtoyota.com.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here to Coach's Corner, live from the Long Branch, and joining me is Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers as they are set for the state championship game, which will be tomorrow at 10 o'clock in the morning, the first game of the day on Thursday to kick off the whole weekend. Potter County will take on Del Rapids St. Mary in that 10 o'clock game, the 3-seed Potter County against the 5-seed Del Rapids St. Mary. Coach, before we get into talking about this game, let's first talk about last week Friday and the win against Faulkton area. You guys lost to them 36-18 the first time. You come back, win 22-12. Defensively, you guys were stout. You scored those 22 points in a row after being down early. You rattled off those 22 straight points to put the game in doubt. And talk about how good this team was for you guys last Friday.
Well, it was one of those things that was kind of our typical MO as far as we started out a little bit slow offensively and mentally and so forth, and gave them a couple of plays early on, and then our defense made a huge stand right away on Faulkton's early drive that I think set the tone for the game and basically gave us confidence, gave us momentum, and that I think we stopped them 3, 4, 5 times within their within the 20-yard line in, and that was a key factor for us to get some momentum going back the other way for us.
Yeah, that's a huge for the defense to be able to do something like that. And the offense, Grant Lukens threw a touchdown pass with just about 3 minutes left to play in the half, and then you guys scored another time before the end of the half. How quick that offense was able to score those 2 touchdowns, and obviously gave you guys your first lead. But how important that was to be able to get that second touchdown before the end of the half.
Well, both of them were huge, and the fact that the first one came on a long play as far as right after Faulkton had scored their first touchdown, and to respond that quickly, I think was a little bit deflating for them in the fact that they had worked hard for a quarter and a half to get their first touchdown, and after they did, we came back and the first play we had a long pass that was open and in. Kyle Narbach, one of our ends, made a good move as far as to freeze the tackler a little bit and end up going on past him, but it was one of those where the whole first quarter and a half was we were able to move the ball, but just as we did something right, we also did something wrong to kind of shoot ourselves in the foot as far as stop our momentum, and then when Faulkton did score, I think that was kind of like maybe a little bit of, I know it sounds really weird, but a little bit of a relief in the fact that everybody knew that, okay, it's a tense game, but yet this is going to happen, and from there on, I would say we kind of let loose and scored on 2 big plays. Here in late in that second quarter that took the momentum away from Faulkton really quickly and got it back on our side. And for the most part, even though they ended up scoring another touchdown late and had a couple of decent plays that were yardage-wise, I felt comfortable as far as how we were playing, that we were making them earn everything they were getting. And when we played them the first time, there were some plays they could go to that they knew that they were going to get some yards on. Against us the other night, they had to come up with different plays that we hadn't seen and ones that were, I guess, somewhat trick plays a little bit. I shouldn't say trick plays, screens and stuff like that we hadn't seen them do yet. to be able to gain yards. Otherwise, their basic stuff, we were able to stop them for little or no gain most of the time, and that was a key factor after giving them up. I want to say 250 to 300 yards rushing the first time we played them to hold them down, to I was somewhere around 100 with with a couple of those being big plays that were late in the game.
Talking with Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers as they will be taking on Del Rapids St. Mary in the state championship game and the 9B first game of the entire weekend, 10 o'clock on a Thursday tomorrow. So, Coach, as we start looking at this game here against this Del Rapids St. Mary team, you guys are no strangers to playing a team better the second time around. You did the last two games to get to the state championship. They avenged two losses, and both those losses to Gayville-Vollen and Avon were not particularly close the first time, and they beat Gayville-Vollen by 20 points. They beat Avon by 2 points. What does that tell you about a team that is able to do that, especially at the end of the season?
Well, they're definitely gaining confidence as well, and that they're figuring out exactly what they can do, what they do best, and going with that and using that as their game plan. A lot of times those losses, the teams, if they use them in the right way, as far as going, okay, that's a motivating factor. We learned something from those losses. Is good in a way as far as being able to step up. If a team is able to do that and learn from that and become better at that, and obviously Del St. Mary's has done that in knocking off two of the three teams that had beat them during the year, coming back through the playoffs and they've been moving the ball well. They've been scoring a lot of points. We feel that we've been doing the same. So I think that's going to be one of those exciting games, and depends on who dictates the tempo, and whose defense can I guess keep the other team from having the big plays, I would say.
Yeah, and that's one of the things too, is that when you look at the last two games, and we can still even go back to all three games of the playoffs, you guys are allowing less than 9 points per game. They're averaging around like 17 points given up per game, or 20-some points per game, right around that mark. So the fact that you guys are able to hold teams on average by under 10 points, and where they kind of want to go outscore you instead of hold you down, does that tell you that it's almost, and I'm sure you've watched film too to also understand that, but do the scores kind of tell you that these two teams are almost playing two different styles of maybe defense and offense?
It is. The fact that they're giving up a few more points than that basically makes me feel good in the fact that offensively we've been able to move the ball fairly well. We've got kind of a dynamic group that if you're doing something defensively to stop one of the possibilities we have on offense, we have others that we go to, and it's an exciting part, or a great part to see it as a coach, because you don't know exactly which player is going to have that big game, but you also know that those guys have the capabilities of having that big game, and I think that's what's going to be needed against Del St. Mary's, as far as the excitement they've got going as well. One of the things that we're focusing on, they like to grind it out a lot. And they've got some big guys in their line and are aggressive. So we've got to meet that aggressiveness. Coming back against them, we've had some teams say that we were one of the tougher teams, or tougher hitting teams that we've had in a long time here, and that's a great compliment to have. But it's one of those we've got to back up on Thursday.
Again, talking with Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers as they are getting set for the state championship game against Del Rapids St. Mary. It's been fun to talk to you the last couple of weeks here, and being a Thursday game, and obviously, Del Rapids St. Mary is in the same spot that they played last Friday. They got the win. Now they're going to play at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. It's a little bit of it's not even, I won't even say a little bit. It's a huge challenge, I think, for both teams, and I'm sure you'll agree here that playing at 10 o'clock in the morning is already tough, but then you go to playing at 10 o'clock on a Thursday morning is going to be even tougher, because you really, it almost takes away a lot of what you can do Wednesday night, and you almost have Saturday through Tuesday to really prepare for this game, right?
Oh yeah, you do. I mean, it shortens up things, and it's unbelievable how busy everything gets within that time factor, trying to make several plans, trying to trying to figure out, okay, where we're staying, where, what leave times, all those different plans. To add into the fact that it's a little bit shorter time, plus throw in there that you throw in the fact that Saturday, Sunday, some of those plans you can't make because the businesses you have to talk to aren't open. It definitely speeds up the whole factor, but a lot of it, when you start getting to this time of the year, you know what your team's going to do. You know what they're capable of doing. And after the game on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday was a lot of loosening up, relaxing, getting some of the soreness and stiffness out of the body from an intense game that Friday night, and then trying to get the blood pressure back down and everybody is so we're not burned out by the time the championship game rolls around.
You guys Potter County last played in 2013, beat Leola Frederick in the championship. Now, obviously, everybody that's in high school right now is not part of that 2013 championship team or even been around it as a freshman. So this is a new territory for all these players. And how do you feel like they've been handling it so far leading up to the game on Thursday?
So far, they've been doing very well with it. We're taking the approach that this is business for us. The excitement, the hoopla, and everything like that is for the fans and the other people involved with it. And if our players want to be part of that, then they're looking at the wrong reason as far as why we're going to Vermilion, we're going to Vermilion to play the championship game the best we possibly can. And if we got all those distractions, we're worried about those, then we can't do that. And they've been doing a very good job as far as that. They've talked to the parents sometimes and saying, okay, we just want to be left alone with this. We want to do this and all this. Yeah, so I've been very pleased with that. These guys, I mentioned as far as the last time we were at the Dome, and they're going, yeah, Coach, remember we were in elementary school? And I'm going, yeah, that's right, I know. So Dallas St. Mary's does have an advantage that way, in fact, being back there and some of those players being in championship game already. But I'm very pleased with how our kids are handling it and the focus that they've had so far in practice and the desire to get the job done as far as coming out of there with the state championship.
And for you, and again, we're talking with Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers, who take on Del Rapids St. Mary in the state championship Thursday morning at 10 o'clock. For you personally, what's it like to being able to go to the Dome with this team and to have all the extra pomp and circumstance around this week leading up to the game, being able to somewhat savor it, but also how quickly things go by, how fast everything goes by for this week?
I basically, when somebody asks me how things are going, it's nuts. As far as if I were doing this as head football coach only, that would be one thing. Doing it as well as athletic director as well, and trying to plan some of the other stuff, it makes it even a little bit more nuts. The fact that it's coming around that quickly, and not to say that wasn't our goal, but it was a very good surprise as far as how we've stepped up and how we've played. That makes it even more so. Throw in the fact we're hosting a SODAC 16 girls volleyball tournament tonight in Gettysburg, which doing different paperwork and stuff like that makes it even more nuts, and it's just a great thing to have. It's a great problem to have. I mean, we're making it through it, and hopefully we don't forget. And by we, I'm saying I don't forget what I'm doing as far as each day, and I remember which day we leave on and which day we play on and all that good stuff.
Well, again, talking with Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers, that's a usual week for me, trying to remember what day it is, what I'm trying to do. But and I know that you would trade that, you would have this week, and you would love to have it every single year and have how nuts it is every single year. But this is a very special week to have, right?
It is. It's one of those things that every team starts the year out with the goal of being successful and ultimately winning a state championship, or some making the state championship, whatever. That's one of those things that only one team gets to end the season with a win, and in each division, and that's something that is a goal for all the kids, and it's one of those things that when you get to that point where you have that chance of being that team, it's exciting, and it brings people out of the woodwork as far as fans. I've had several people texting me that I haven't talked to for a long time. People that walking up to ourselves, the coaches, the players after the game in Faulkton on Friday, and congratulate us and say they've been following us and watching us. And a lot of them, I don't know who they are. I mean, it's an awesome feeling to have those people, being willing to step up and congratulate our kids and our coaching staff and on where we've been able to get to this year.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of fun to watch you guys continue to play and get ready for the state championship game. So, Coach, before I let you go, one last question is, what's it going to take to knock off Del Rapids St. Mary? What's it going to take for Potter County Battlers to be the Class 9B state champions?
Okay, the smart aleck means says score more points than what they do. But it's going to have to be where the teams, whoever's most successful, play in and play out, and that takes from play number 1 to play 100 and whatever it is, to be able to give the same effort as long as they can. A lot of times in Dome White, kids tend to cramp up and stuff like that, and part of that's from being overhyped up early. Part of it's from being outside in cold temperatures and then stepping indoors. All those different things we have to try and go about it as part of as in a business sense, and go out and basically challenge the players to win more plays than what we lose.
Coach Vern Smith of the Potter County Battlers. Coach, I appreciate the time. It's been a lot of fun to talk to you the last couple of weeks on this run of the state championship. Good luck on Thursday. Good luck tomorrow, and really looking forward to seeing what this Potter County Battler team can do. And thank you again for all the time that you've given in the last couple of weeks.
Thank you much, and we appreciate the coverage.
We will return with more Coach's Corner after this here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Dale and DT here for the LB.
Dale, the Long Branch offers variety, live music, and drink specials to help you unwind.
True, but you have got to try one of the most diverse menus available.
Got to get in a shout-out for their wings, some of the best in town. Tuesdays, they have wing specials and a killer selection of flavors.
And now, the LB is home of the KCCR's Coach's Corner. Wednesday nights up on the big stage.
Come for the food, stay for the fun. The LB, the Long Branch, 351 South Pier Street in downtown Pier.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention, it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
For 30 years, Todd's Electric Service has had the privilege of providing electrical wiring solutions for residential, commercial, and agricultural customers in Central South Dakota. From small service calls to large commercial projects, Todd's Electric Service has experienced electricians for any job. Call 223-2518 to schedule your project. Todd's Electric Service is your line to power. 223-2518.
There wasn't always a windmill in Millbank or a vinegar museum in Roslyn. Someone had to paint the graffiti mural on the Turtle Creek Spillway. And before First Dakota filed the first charter in 1872, you couldn't bank in South Dakota. Every timeless institution, tradition, and thriving business was started somewhere by someone who had a dream and the passion to make it happen first. What will be your South Dakota first? Visit firstdakota.com/first. Member FDIC.
This is Coach's Corner on Central South Dakota Sports Station, AM 1240, today's KCCR.
As we welcome you back here one more time, live at the Long Branch, as we want to thank our coaches again, Coach Steve Steele, the Pierre Governor football team, Coach Tiffany Stosher, the Pierre volleyball team, and Coach Vern Smith of Potter County's football team, as the football teams will be playing the state championship tomorrow and Friday. The Battlers will play at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, and then the Governors will play at 7:30 on a Friday night. Coverage will start at 7 o'clock here on KCCR. And then tomorrow, of course, it's also the Sodak 16 for the Pierre volleyball team, as they will take on the Yankton Gazelles. Coverage will start at 5:40. First serve is at 6 o'clock, as we'll have it here on KCCR and available to watch on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Same time, same place next week, Wednesday, here live at the Long Branch. And again, thanks to the Long Branch for hosting us for another week. And we'll be back here again next week, Wednesday, talking more sports and talking about state championships and also talking about state tournaments that'll be coming up. Again, thanks to our coaches. We'll be here again at 5:30 to 6:30 live at the Long Branch next week for Coach's Corner, as you have been listening to Coach's Corner here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner on KCCR and online at kccrradio.com. Coach's Corner live from the Long Branch has been brought to you by Kruger Contracting, Avera St. Mary's, Bank West, Birding Electric, Gales Gas, Edward Jones Financial, Gateway Ford, Lincoln and Toyota, Midwest Co-op, and Owyhee Federal Credit Union. Coach's Corner on KCCR is also brought to you by Lamb Motor, First Dakota National Bank, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, and Wagner Auto. Join us every Wednesday evening from 5:30 to 6:30 for Coach's Corner, live at the Long Branch in Pierre or on air at KCCR or kccrradio.com. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting.